Hello, kid artists! Today I am working from my home art studio and you are working from yours. And even though we're not at the North Elementary Art Studio, we can still look at art, talk about art, and even make art. Later, you will be invited to post what you create on our discussion board on Schoology. So, let's get started. Take a look at this work of art. What do you see? If you're sitting next to someone, lean over to them and tell them what you see. What kind of color is there? How about shape? What sort of texture is this artist using? And what do you think this artist used to create this work of art? This work of art was created by one of my most favorite artists. His name is Andy Goldsworthy, and he lives and he works out of Scotland. His art studio is actually the great outdoors, and he creates what is called land art, where he collects objects from nature, rocks, leaves, twigs, and he creates structures and designs with them. Here in these rocks, he didn't paint those rocks, and he didn't paint this little spot here. He collected rocks of different values, and he put them together so that they fade in from dark to the brightest light. This spot right here, like I said, it's not painted. It's just the darkest soil he could find. And then he put it right next to that bright white rock to create an amazing contrast. Here, where these leaves are, this line is awesome, not paint. And it's not tape. These are yellow leaves on top of green leaves. Over here in this structure, he just created a semicircle. And because the water is there, it creates an amazing, that's right, reflection. Another artist who takes objects and puts them together in really interesting, even beautiful ways is Radcliffe. But instead of taking natural objects, he's taking everyday objects that you might have lying around your house or your parents might have around an office. He has a book and an Instagram called Things Neatly Organized. And I want to show you, how do I do this? There we go. I want to show you one of my favorite images that he has. So he's taken just clothes, denim shirts, denim pants, hats, shoes, and he's laid them out in a very fascinating way, a kind of way that makes you want to look. He's framed out these clothes with brown shoes where they're all pointing out. And if you remember one of our principles of art called repetition, that principle of art is making you want to look even more at this work. Now, your assignment. You get to choose to work indoors or outdoors today. If you decide to work outdoors, collect objects from nature, like Andy Goldsworthy, twigs, leaves, rocks, to create art. If you choose to work indoors today, collect objects from around your house. Maybe it's socks or forks or pencils. You may need to ask permission to use things like pots and pans or other things you find interesting to create an organized design. Now, I challenge you though, if you choose indoors today, on a different day this week, go outside and make something just for fun. Or if you're doing outdoors today, maybe on a different day this week, do something indoors just for fun. Try using one of these elements or principles of art. Color, value, repetition, or how about some line? Now, you know there are many other elements of art and principles of art that you could be using. Maybe pattern, or texture. I just gave a few ideas out there, but really, you're the artist. You design and you create. Finally, the Schoology discussion board. Have an adult help you take a photo and post this to our discussion. Or if you don't have a camera, no worries. You can just make a comment on the discussion board. Describe what you designed in your comment so that the rest of the class can get an idea of what you made. You could say something like, I created some outdoor land art where I used twigs, rocks, pine cones, leaves to make a circle. Or maybe you'll talk about what you did inside. I organized my closet by color. I went from the warm colors to the cool colors. You decide. I cannot wait to see what our class comes up with. It's going to be a lot of fun to see your posts. Have a great time collecting and a marvelous time designing.